stuff like that. So I want to hear a woman's perspective, because first dates, like that is when your guys, like as a guy, I'm not gonna say all guys do it, but like say if they meet a hot girl through the DMs or meet her out at a club or meet her out at a friend's event, and that first date, they're like, yo, where should I take her, man? Should I flex on her and go here, or should I keep it chill? You know what I'm saying? So it's like a big deal as far as like the first date.
Right.
I would assume. So as far as I wanted to hear from a girl's perspective, how much does the first date activity or restaurant or event or whatever you guys do on a first date affect on how you perceive that man before you meet him? Like, does it matter or what?
I think it matters a lot, because I think it kind of sets the notion, and like, I don't know if it's subconscious or, conscious, but like, I think guys definitely know what they're doing with that. Because say you take a girl to a really nice restaurant, right? Or like a decent restaurant. It's more quiet. It's like more intimate. You can have those one-on-one personal conversations. You can get to know the person better, versus like you take me to Buffalo Wild Wings on like chicken wing night, and it's like crowded as hell. It's loud. It's so impersonable. Like you barely get to know the girl, and it's just weird. And you have to think about it. Like that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's conscious or subconscious, but like if you've had like side chicks or like girls you're not interested to, I'm sure that you have specific places that you take them. Like, let me take them to this place because I know it's low key. I'm not going to run to nobody I know. It's not too nice, so she's not going to get the wrong idea and stuff like that. So like, I definitely think it matters. And like with anyone, girls or guys, if you like someone or if you're interested in someone, like you're naturally going to put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you take them somewhere that you're like, oh, it's whatever, I'll show up in sweats, like it's casual. It kind of shows like, I only did it just to say I took you out. It's not really like anything special or anything I really put time and effort into. So I think it really sets the tone for like the rest of your relationship, and it kind of shows like, okay, what is this person's intention with me?
So
so do you like? Go ahead now.
You got it. I've been talking.
All right. So do you like? So would you prefer a dinner date as a first date?
Yeah.
When meeting someone.
Yeah.
You don't experience any awkwardness or lengthy time at the table. You're gonna be with them for an hour and a half first meeting the person. I mean, yeah, you might FaceTime them before. But I mean, sometimes that first date, I mean, look, it's a go-to for most people that they go on dinners, and maybe drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could do both. I mean, obviously you're gonna do both. But sometimes, you go to a dinner and it's your first time meeting. If you're not, let's say you end up not being into them after 30 minutes, and you got to sit there for another hour having this conversation that you don't want to be a part of while doing nothing except stare at each other. So that's probably something that a lot of people run into, and why people prefer not to go on a dinner date at the first date.
Yeah.
I think a better way to go about that without like going somewhere that just like completely random is like maybe brunch date. So it's a little less like formal, but it's still a nice thing to do. It's still like a nice date. It's not just like, hey, let me pick you up. We'll go to McDonald's, or like I said, go for chicken night. Like, you know what I mean? Like something that's like,
you're just taking me
that don't happen.
Little bullshit ass dates. Have someone done that?
Nah.
Has someone tried to take you to Buffalo Wild Wings on the first date or something?
No, I know. It sounds like it's like triggering me. It's just the first place I can think of, because it's like loud or like stuff like that, or like a really like random place, low-key, you see nobody there. It's like, obviously this person doesn't want to be seen with me. You know what I mean? He's just doing this to say like, okay, I checked it off the list. Like I took you out. Like now let's move on to the next phase. I did what I had. You can't be
putting those assumptions on guys though. What you mean? Just because he takes you to a low-key spot, he's trying to like hide. What you mean? Why are you
like that? Like I'm saying, I'm sure you have places that like with girls you don't really want to be out with. You're like, okay, I'll take her here. I know I'm not gonna run into nobody. It's not that nice. She's not gonna get the wrong idea.
You said you want a quiet spot, so why can't I take you to a quiet spot that not that many people there without you judging me?
That just don't make it a bummy spot. It can be quiet. You can be like, hey, this is my favorite place to go. And again, it's not about going to like the most bougiest place, because not everyone has it like that. But I think it's just about being intentional, being upfront. Like, hey, I'm not in the best position right now, but I still want to take you out and go like have a good time. Is this place okay with you?
Got it.
So it's just like, I think it shows a lot of like where your intentions are. Because it's like, how is this person going to treat me? And like, what does he really think of me in a certain extent?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Someone takes you to a Buffalo Wild Wings. That's kind of absurd. But
to go off of,
Put the table over. Like, I'm leaving.
to go off of that, shout out to Trey. I don't know if he watches the pod, but he told me something about I was dating, I had a girlfriend, and he was like, watch out what you buy her in the beginning, because that's setting the bar from here on out. Don't go too crazy, because that sets the bar from here on out. So I like to put that on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So for the first date, for instance, say if the guy takes you to like Ruth Chris, right? This is just obviously, well, yeah, I'm not gonna say what's the guy's intention. So what should a girl think if he takes you to a Ruth Chris on the first date? Or what can you see majority of girls thinking the guy takes you to Ruth Chris?
I'll probably think like, oh, this is nice. Like he obviously wanted to impress me and like show me a good time. Like he obviously put some thought into it. Because you have to think Ruth Chris places like that, you have to go out of your way to make a reservation. You can't just walk in there and be like, hey, table for two. So it's like just a thought and action behind it. Like he took time out to plan this date. This wasn't like a last minute thing that he's like, okay, I'll roll out of bed and just do this just to say I took her out.
So he's gaining points, not losing points.
Absolutely.
Okay. What if he takes you bowling on the first night?
I think that's fun. I think that's a good icebreaker too.
Okay.
I think finding an activity that, especially if you don't know the person, say you haven't like done the FaceTime thing before, it's a date where like if it does get awkward, you can kind of be more interactive. Like you don't have to just be staring at each other like that if it's not necessarily like you don't know, like, oh, I want to take this girl seriously. And you kind of get to see their personality too.
Yeah. Ideally, I would do that, but I never do that like on a first date. But I might need to try that.
Yeah.
Just spice it up, because it is fun. But I always be thinking like, well, the girls that I'm into, sometimes they can be a little girly. That they'll bowl like 4 times, be like, let's get out of here. I'm like, yo, I just put $100, 2 games. You want to
We're finishing this round.
That's why I really don't. So I gotta like gauge how they are. If they're a little bit of tomboyish before I go bowling, but ideally I want to do it. All right, 2 more. What about movies? No.
First time, no way movie.
No.
Absolutely not. That's a no.
It's another one. What about hiking?
That's not bad. I think that's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know about a first date hiking though. Because again, if you don't know the person as a female, you're like, is he taking me up here to kill me? I mean, these are things.
Okay, but
It's real.
The conversation had to be had that
about.
both people like the hiking.
Yeah, if you're both outdoorsy people and you're comfortable with that, yeah, I think it'd be fun. But like, as a woman, if a man's like, "Let me take you hiking," like I'm like, I don't know if I trust. Like, I don't know. There's just a lot. Like, I think as a woman, you have to like put your safety first. So like, being aware of that. But like Dom said, like he likes girly girls. So like, if you know that and you take them somewhere that kind of fits their personality, again, it shows like, oh, this person got to know me and he was intentional about where he took me. Yeah. Like if a girl's like, I like to get my nails done, I don't like to get dirty, I don't like to do this, and you're like, okay, let's go hiking. It's like, does he even
you're not going hiking, you know?
Yeah, like did he even try to like care about what like my interests are, or does he just want to do what he wants to do?
I mean, you'd end up not going.
Right.
Yeah.
Sidebar, ladies out there that's listening, I just said girly girls because it matched the scenario.
Nothing wrong with being a girly girl.
Shout out to the tomboys out there.